we've been talking about this for some time. Now we have confirmation. Hollywood is in a full-fledged depression as the industry contracts. We've been talking about this since last year when the term flopbuster was introduced. And now we have confirmation. I'm going to share a screen here from Deadline. Hollywood contraction hits entertainment executive jobs. This is a full-scale depression. Now they're saying it out loud. We've been talking about this for some time. It is now full-fledged depression from Nelly and Driva, and Deadline. We'll put the link in the description. And I'll read this briefly. LinkedIn is usually used by professionals for networking with people in their field, posting updates when they get a new job or congratulating friends on their promotions. These days, as one former industry type put it, it's become a therapy site for unemployed entertainment executives who share their frustrations over the lack of opportunities in Hollywood amid a major contraction. I've seen a lot of downturns, lots of job losses, but I've never seen anything like this. One veteran top TV executive said this is a full-scale depression for the entertainment industry. Over the past year, there have been layoffs, waves of layoffs at Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount, NBC Universal, Amazon, MGM Studios, Lionsgate, which acquired E1, Netflix, Sony, Fifth Season, and most talent agencies, including CAA and UTA. By the way, CAA and UTA, two of the top agencies that represent people like Tom Hanks, some of the big talent represented by CAA and UTA. Going on, the dire situation bordering on worst case scenario, the seasoned TV executive said, was created by a perfect storm of COVID, strikes, and poor management decisions coming to roost, driven by short-sighted moves by media companies aimed at goosing their quarterly reports to appease Wall Street. Those venting about their experiences on LinkedIn say that they have sent hundreds of job applications and never got a response to the majority of them, not even from HR. Some have been on the sidelines for more than a year. This is when, quick side note, I have friends that have been unemployed, and one friend of mine who was a producer in TV went to culinary school to change his career as a kind of a high-end cook at a restaurant. You can make decent money doing that. This is how bad things are. Been on the sidelines for more than a year while trying to pick up consulting and other part-time gigs to pay the bills. The more senior executives turned to headhunters. I have certainly an influx of executives that reach out and say they're looking for their next job, said top Hollywood executive recruiter Jamie Waldron, senior partner, global head of sports, blah, 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 big highfalutin title. His conservative estimate is that a good 20% of the VP and above executive workforce in media and entertainment is out of work from a year ago. 20% out of work. If, let's say this, first of all, not a huge figure when it comes to SAG actors. Actors, it's the highest unemployment rate of almost any profession. 20% of people working in the executive suite in entertainment, that's substantial. 20% from a year ago. If that was like a US, unemployment rate, that would be crazy. Based on his observations, legal and marketing executives have been heavily impacted, followed closely by development executives. There is no doubt a contraction, Waldron added. It just makes it tough in the short term. I feel like with a lot of good executives, I can't meet everybody that wants to meet to talk about that they're about to be unemployed or the layoffs now happening. It goes on, more quotes. Alan, what are your thoughts? I want to hear your opinion about all of this.
Can you go to that part of the article where it talks about the reasons for this? I think
yes, right
COVID.
there.
Yeah,
dire situation right there.
So they created by a perfect storm of COVID, strikes, and poor management decisions. This is what you call not being able to read the room.
Right?
Honestly, COVID should have been a boon for these streamers. The fact that they're blaming it on the wrong things means that there's no hope, and that they're in this situation and they have no idea why, and why we've been talking about this for years as to what's going on, why this industry is failing. Is the fact that they're not telling stories we want to hear.
Right.
That they're not telling stories that resonate with us, that we relate to, and they haven't been doing that for a very long time. And quite frankly, from what we're seeing, they still don't know, and they're going to still keep pushing the message, expecting us to shell out money. Magical Negroes. No one wanted to hear that message, and no one was willing to pay money to see that message, except us critics and YouTubers.
Well,
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, this is going to be obviously a developing story. The fact that
Mhm.
it's bubbled up mainstream in an media outlet like Deadline, that's saying something.
Yeah.
That means the industry needs to recognize this and reconcile it. And I think we're going to see a lot more people changing careers. And I've heard leaving the industry, meaning
Mhm.
this industry, it's if it and look, we heard over a year ago, I was told that we went from 600 shows to now 300 shows. That's 50% of the shows, not just impacting executives, but impacting people below the line. That's people not on camera. The people who do, well, frankly, the real work on a film set. Not to take anything away from the people, but like,
Well, add
it affects
Hollywood.
everybody.
Add the
What's that?
city of the city of Hollywood, the subsection of LA.
Yeah.
That's going to be impacted sorely. And let's be real here. What if Kenobi was a good show? What if Rings of Power was a good show? What if everything we've been complaining about were good? We wouldn't be
Right.
talking about this. They would have survived the pandemic. They would have survived COVID, and we wouldn't be talking like this. But they just don't know, and they still don't know the answer.
Right.
And this is. I mean, we've talked about it. The only way this is going to change is, I hate to say it, is the complete financial destruction. And I think Disney is headed that direction. And someone's got to in these companies admit they made mistakes over the last 5 years. And the first company to do that, to say that we did it wrong, we followed the wrong people, listened to the wrong people, they're the ones who are going to survive this.
I just wonder if Hollywood is going to come to an awareness that the audience is not responding to the material, and that needs to change, number one. And I think part of the way to change it is you're going to have to get rid of some people that aren't focused on the plan,
right?
The right plan, which is serving the needs of the audience. What are they responding to? They're not responding currently to what you're making, so you got to change.